Hello and welcome to Acts of Wellness, a Swisse Wellness podcast. You've reached your host, Flex Mummy, your unofficial couples therapist. And what I lack in qualifications, I make up for in opinions, and I've got lots of them. So let's get into it. Okay, lovers, today we're sitting down with another iconic Aussie duo to find out how their relationship really works. We'll hear the juicy stories that you won't find on their Instagram as we delve into how they hype each other up and bring each other right back down to earth again. For our first timers, you're going to want to know about Acts of Wellness, aka the 6th new love language that means to love someone in ways that support their health and well-being. My next guest skyrocketed online stardom in 2019 when they put down the tools and picked up the camera. From viral worksite dancers to launching their powerhouse beer brand and making their mark on TV, these impractical jokers are even making the chaos of traveling look easy with their new travel company. Welcome to the potty, Matt and Jack from the Inspired Unemployed.
Thank you.
I mean, we had to do
that
it.
Was,
we had to show them.
You did it.
Starting your day like that would be unbelievable if you could do that every day.
Just Wake up with that. Hype reel.
I just laughed at us. I just saw us sitting the exact same way.
This.
Like we've shaped into one person.
We're like little schoolboys like this.
That's what happens when you share heaps of energy. There's something really cool about being in your presence right now. What do you think it is?
Hey.
Straight back at you.
Yeah.
Straight back at you. God.
I don't know. The thing why me and Jack work well together is because we just believe we can do stuff. We don't want to live the average life. Before we started this, we're like, let's try and start a band or whatever. But we actually believed we could do it, and we didn't want to live just the normal 9 to 5. We wanted to see the world, and we wanted all this
All we talk about was being on. We're going to be on stage in 10 years. But we're so delusional. But kind of manifested the whole life we're living right now.
So delusional, so delusional, but kind of at the same time, you just believed it would happen.
Okay, so we have to go kind of back to the beginning. You grew up in Kiama. Paint a picture for me. What's your lifestyle?
Pre-Inspired Unemployed?
Yeah, 15 years old. What's the vibe?
Very good coastal hometown life of surfing every afternoon. Going to school, surfing. You've got all your best mates in the same town. You know everyone in the town. And you're riding your bikes around, knocking and running on the weekends, water bombing the occasional car. But I think we just had a really good,
wholesome kind of upbringing. Where I'm from, my dad's one of 9 and my mum's one of 12. So and they're all from the same area I grew up in. So it was just a lot of family, a lot of friends, just a lot of beach.
The whole town. Gerringong, have you heard it? You know where Gerringong is? 50% of the whole town is his family.
Descendants of.
I'm not even.
Honestly, I'm related to everyone.
Legends.
And there's 5,000 people in the town.
I wanted to find a girlfriend, I had to leave the town 50 Ks.
For real though?
Yeah.
It's a real journey.
Yeah, the Icelandic app.
Yeah, in Iceland they have an app where you got to scan a QR code if you're out partying because it will tell you if you're related or not. He has that in Gerringong.
This is real life. And lucky you stayed safe.
Yeah.
So at what point did you meet?
In high school. So in Gerringong, there's only there's no high school. So everyone goes to Kiama. So everyone from Gerringong and Minamara, where Jack's from.
5 surrounding towns go to the one high school.
And Jack was a year above me. And we were in line for the school snow trip. One morning, everyone gets to school really early, at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you put your bags down to line up because it's first name on the list gets to go to the school snow trip.
Sick.
And Jack was in front of me, and then we all started playing tip. And I just remember you just being real hypo and
I can't remember it.
ADHD. And and that's how I met him. But we didn't become really good friends until later, maybe year 10, year 9, year 10.
When we started going to music festivals together.
Got it.
That's when we really bonded. We're and a lot of our friends were the same. Dom, that a lot of people know, he's also in our videos and lives with us. He was in your year and I knew him, but no one really hung out with Dom until after. We all started going to festivals together, and then we all just bonded 10 of us, and then we're still all best friends and still live with pretty much all of them. We still live in a shared house part time down in Kiama. So that bond is never. That's 12, 15 years ago now. So.
And the fact that you can remember when you met, powerful.
Yeah, that is good.
Powerful.
I completely forgot because snowboarding was my thing. I did that for 10 years or whatever, traveling the world. And I all I wanted to do was go on a school snow trip. From year 7 to year 10, I tried it every year, and you line up at 5:30, 6 a.m. and they don't tell you can't go on it, because if you're a bad student, you can't go on it, but they don't tell you until like a month later when they assess everything. So I would go every year and then get the phone call up to the principal's office, and she's like, nah, you're not going.
Didn't make it this
year. And I remember
year.
being out for dinner one night crying, and I was a little brat. I was crying and had a toy snowboard, and I was at the Thai restaurant with mum and dad crying.
I'm seeing so many similarities and overlaps though, because again, it's the wanting to live a big, cool life, not really attached to how you're going to do it, but everything's a possibility. Having this pivotal moment where you keep on trying and keep on failing, and your brain can't comprehend that maybe it's not for you. You're like, this is impossible. Like, I want this thing, it's meant to happen. And it kind of manifests in this weird like brattiness. We're like, I need to channel this differently because people aren't getting that I should just have this thing that I really want.
Yeah, it's probably happened for a reason, because you're like, it gets taken from you, so you're like, I'm going to find it my own way, you know? And
Fully.
yeah,
Fully.
And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we're believers in like, if you can't, someone says you can't do it, that makes me so excited, because I'm like, I can 100% do it.
That's where I'm glad Jack thinks like that, because someone says you can't do it, I'm like, oh yeah, no, all right. I'm like a little goody, like 2 shoes.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I like that about Jack. That's good. It evens us out, because if someone says you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or whatever, or if they're like, oh, do you know how to scuba dive? Jack would be like, yeah, we know how to scuba dive. I'm like,
Figure it out.
no, we don't. Like, no, we don't. We're going to die. Like, I'm not doing that. He's like, yeah, we'll be right. You just go underwater. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So that's good. He gives me confidence in that kind of area.
And then I get his realism, bit of that, which is good. Yeah.
He's up in the clouds, I'm running down.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, I'm understanding.
Yeah.
I'm understanding. Thank you for that.
I jump 8 music festivals in a row, but some of them I'd have a ticket and I would give it to my friend just so I could jump it, because it would give me like a thrill. I'm not even joking. I like photos with security guards in the festivals that like had caught me, and then I'd get away from them as well.
Whoa.
I just love that feeling.
I hate that. Like, even going into like the US, like going into customs, I'm not doing anything wrong, and I'm like, I'm going to jail. Like 100%. They're going to lock me up for something that I haven't even done. I'm just freaking out. Like the whole plane ride, I'll be like, I'm not going to let in. They're going to like take me under, and like,
And
I don't know
thought
why.
about why they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah,
because there's no reason.
There's no reason, but I'm just freaking out. I don't know what's wrong with
Something
me.
wild about that, because I'm also like a head in the clouds person. It takes me so long to get grounded. I'm like, I don't understand rules. I don't really understand. Like, there's a lot of norms I don't understand. I'm like, why can't we just do the things we want to do? Like, why I'd be in the airport using my phone. They're like, put your phone away. I'm like, sorry, my bad. But when you have a big personality, you can seem like you're an antagonist. And when you have a mindful personality, everyone's like, but what's wrong? And you're like, everything?
Yeah.
Everything that could possibly be wrong ever is happening? Alas. So how do we get to tradie era?
Well, you left school and become a tradie straight away.
Yep, I tried. I got a few. So I finished year 10, and I did some what is it called when you do
Work experience?
for a bunch of carpenters. I was like, I'll be a builder. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do carpentry either. I'm going to go back to school and try really hard.
Yeah.
And it's like 5 days into year 11, the principal called me up and she goes, if you don't leave, I'll do everything in my power to get you to leave. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be a plasterer. So
Plasterer it is.
Can't escape your destiny.
yeah, exactly. And it worked for my dad, and that was great. I did that for 8-9 years. And when did you start?
And then, so I was leaving, like I went into year 11, did like 2 weeks, and I did the same thing. I went and did a work experience for a landscaper for a couple of weeks, and I was just about to start. I said, yeah, I'll do my apprenticeship with you. I'll sign up. But I was like, I'm going to Bali for 3 weeks with some friends.
Naturally.
And I went, and then when I was on the trip, like my good mate Forrest was on the trip as well, and he has a surf shop in Gerringong, like Natural Necessity Surf Shop. Maybe I don't know if you've ever seen the ads, like definitely worth the drive. So like, just give me a little plug. Give him a little plug.
These are like little gold nuggets. I'm like, keep it coming.
And then he was over there, and I didn't really want to become a tradie, but I didn't want to be at school either. So I was kind of like stuck in this between a rock and a hard place. And then he was like, oh, come work for me. I'm just starting the online business of the surf shop, and you can come work for me. And then I was like, oh yeah, that'd be way better than like slaving away on a job site. So I was like, got home, I was like, hey, sorry, I'm not going to do the apprenticeship anymore. I'm going to work with Forrest. So I worked with him for a couple of years, and then it was also kind of like a job that wasn't really like, there's no really, like nowhere for me to like kind of go in the job, like to step up or anything. And I was like, I can't be here for the rest of my life. So I fell into carpentry. Did that for a couple of years, but I didn't do my apprenticeship. I just did it. I was like, I'm just going to learn. I'm too late to like do an apprenticeship now and get that crap money. I'll just learn while getting paid a little bit better. And then, but I hated it. I didn't like it at all. Just wasn't for me. My body type was just not cut out for it. And then Jack called me out one day. Actually, I was just about to start my apprenticeship there. I'd worked for 2 years and he's like, well, you kind of need to get your apprenticeship if you want to do this for the rest of your life. And I was like, all right, whatever. Just about to sign up to
you being the
apprenticeship
grounded
again.
one in that situation. You're like, hey, you're going to have to get the accreditation.
Yeah. And well, I was just about to sign back up to the apprenticeship. And then Jack called me and he's like, let's go traveling to Europe. And I'd never say no to any trip. I'd always just go, yep, make it work. And this time I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this trip. And he's like, no, we'll work towards something that we want to do for the rest of our lives. Like we'd always say we'd go and like sign up to like Byron Bay, like music school, even though I have no musical talent whatsoever. But we'd always kind of like, oh, should we start doing this or should we start doing that? And he's like, we'll go over there with a purpose to find out what we want to do. Like work on jobs we really want to have. And then I still said no, I hung up. And then I went and spoke to my mum. I was living with my mum at the time. And she's just like, nah, like you only live once, go and do it. Like you were.
Thank God you said that.
Then I called him back half an hour later and said, let's go. And then 2 months later we left.
Yeah.
And that's the trip. We went to Europe and we started the Inspired Unemployed.
That was like our last.
Roll the dice.
Isn't it crazy? It's crazy. Like we were 24 and we felt like we were 50 because in our minds at that age, we're like, I'd been snowboarding and I had a few sponsors, but I knew I wasn't going to be professional. So I started freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I need to sort my life out. Like, what am I doing? And we were 24. And then now I still think the same. I think all my friends think the same thing and we're 30.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're so young. You just don't realize how young and how much life you have. Your whole 20s should just be for experimenting, I think.
But
maybe even longer.
You
Like,
do feel like, I don't know if it's like pressures from just society, but you feel like you have to have everything worked out. I remember it was
society. That's why it's
so 23. I don't have any qualifications, but I was only 23. Like that's so young. But
young.
at the time, I was like felt like I was 50, and that was like going to be my life forever.
Especially down our way, like there's not a whole heap of opportunity because it's like job site, school teacher, hairdresser, or bloody surf life saving. You know, like there's obviously more, but there's not that much going on. If you want like big opportunities, there's not much going on down there. So you kind of compare to people that have your mates. They've got a mortgage, and you're like, oh my God, I need to get a mortgage. They've got a job, you know they're going to stay, and you're like, but I don't want this life. And that's where that kind of came in, where I had finished snowboarding, and I was like, I do not want to be plastering forever. So then I called Falcon. I was like, this is it. We've got to go and find something right now. So yeah, we went over there, and that's when the Inspired Unemployed started, by kind of not meaning it for it to be like this at all, for it to be a career. We just thought we'll do this whilst we were like, we were trying to start up like a superfood truck in Byron Bay. Like you were
coffees, trying to make bullet coffees. I thought I was like going to like kill it.
You're I was like, wait, give me a second though, because I'm cooking something up. They're gonna love this one.
Bullet coffee. And he's like, oh my God, there's this new thing called bullet coffee. And he's like, how are they made? I'm like, I have no idea. And I was researching how to do it, like for nights on end. And then he'd be like, how do you do it? I'm like, I still kind of don't know. I'm like figuring it out.
And then we're like, because I worked in a fish and chip trailer in Queenstown in New Zealand. And I managed that for like a year or something. And I was like, yeah, okay, because I did that, I'll be back at house and I'll do all the business stuff. And you be front of house on the coffees. And he's like, yes, it's a perfect idea.
Nailing it, boys.
And we were like, now looking back, like that would have went bankrupt in 2 months.
But I honestly think like if we didn't put so much pressure on it, like we went over there with the intention, like we're going to find what it is we want to do. So we went on this trip, and it wasn't like, it was a holiday, but it kind of wasn't like, we were so focused on like trying to find what it was that we wanted out of life and what we wanted to do. And
that was like the best time in life.
It was. I love it. Really, you know when you get,
it
really
good.
is the journey.
Good.
The journey is everything.
Let them know.
Oh, it is.
Let them know.
And you don't realize it until you're
there.
You're out of it almost. The journey is everything. And now that's all I crave is the journey, like starting up a new project or something, because that's the reason it's so much drive. You wake up every day and you've got a problem to solve. And that's like what every human needs, is a problem to solve. Otherwise there's no point living. Like that's why people retire and they're like, what am I? They lose the plot.
So Matt and Jack, I want to know your here life comes moment. And what was that experience like for you?
We were like really stinging it out. We were in the European Alps at the time, and we started this page. We had like 300 followers, and we were staying in like $100 Airbnb a night that had mold, and it was horrible, but it was still a great time. But we were so like that level of passion and hunger we had for like to make it in life was insane. We would drive, because we had no Wi-Fi. We would drive at like 5 a.m. to get Wi-Fi to upload a podcast of an inspirational, like Tony Robbins podcast, go home and listen to it in bed and stuff. And like write our notes down in our book. Like, it was insane. And I really do think we needed, and we also had no distractions. That was a part of the success as well. Like, we had no distractions. We had no Wi-Fi. We just had us in a room with ideas and just were brainstorming how to just kill it in life somehow.
Yeah.
Like, it was the dream.
Yeah, we had this one restaurant where we'd sign up to the Wi-Fi when we went for dinner, and we'd drive our car there in the morning, like freezing cold, like in the snow, and drive right up to the doorstep, like 5 a.m, just trying, like, you on, like, how many bars you got on the Wi-Fi? Like, trying to upload a videos to like our 30,000, I mean our 30 followers at the time.
What was the big jump? Like the first 100K?
I think when we hit 1 million, what do you think?
I think when we hit 10K.
Yeah, true.
Like, literally, that was like the moment we were like, oh, no, but that wasn't the moment it felt like it was a job. But that was like the big moment for us. We were like, because we worked so hard to get to that point, we felt like, when we were in Europe, like, we need to go home with 10,000 followers. Didn't happen. But then when we finally did, we were like, oh my God, we've made it.
Yeah.
Like, we were like so excited.
Because it wasn't like now when you can post one video and there was no sharing. It was like, send it to a family member and they'll send it to a cousin to get 2 more followers. It was a bit, unless a really big page shouted you out or something, that it was just a lot harder to get there. So when we did get 10,000 followers, it took us about a year of posting like 5 days a week. So it felt like we were just grinding, like scripting, editing, filming every day. And like, so when we got there, that felt amazing. But I'd say for me, it felt more like, it felt a little bit different once we started being like, okay, there's a lot of people here like waiting for a good video to drop, and the pressure starts mounting a little bit, and you really try for that not to happen, but it naturally does, I think. Yeah,
even that right now, like, we've been doing it for, I don't know, 5-6 years. I probably feel more pressure right now than I have my whole life. Like, and you know, and you think if you've been doing it for so long that it's like, oh, it gets easier. But I reckon we feel more pressure now, and we're more like nearly anxious about it now than like ever.
I'm telling you, it's high stakes. And I use the phrase high stakes so often. People who are like, it's not that high. And I'm like, whoa. Oh, we're having a very different experience here, because you are so connected to your audience who's like, this is what you give me. You give me enjoyment, euphoria, excitement, a new perspective, a laugh. To know that you can have that effect on people and to know exactly how you're doing it, it's like, I can't do it wrong. I must do it well.
Yeah, and if you change, you know, when a band changes their style of music, when you've loved them for
Stressful.
that. But the thing is, they're just doing them,
Yeah.
which is what they should do to stay happy. But if your audience, they don't see it that way. They go, why is their style like this? Like, I don't like that. Go back to your old stuff, which is really unfair, but it's just the way it is.
And it's like that double-edged sword. It's like, if they don't change their sound, they're like, oh, you got to innovate. You're trying something new. And then you do, and you're like, well, I don't like that. I liked when you did your old stuff.
Yeah.
And I think also, like, I thought, you know, the craziest dream for us was like having a TV show or doing it, like being in a TV show. And that happened. And I thought, you know, we've made, you know, in your head, little egos. I'm like, you know, I can relax now. Like, we've kind of like solidified ourselves, but I have more anxiety now than ever doing everything that we do, like to make sure it stays in, you know, we get to keep doing this, which is so, it's so weird. Like, I think the more you get, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'll be like settled. I can like,
It's the opposite.
it's the complete opposite.
Complete opposite. I'd be
Cosmic
stressed.
joke.
Yeah.
And it's when you appear as someone who's very joyful and light, it feels like a mixed narrative to be like, but I'm actually really anxious and I'm actually stressed a lot. Everyone's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Giggle, hee hee. And you're like, okay, giggle, hee hee, I'm back. But it's really interesting because I think what you're experiencing is like the real magic of creativity. Like to be like, oh, we know exactly how we do this thing. We know exactly how we cast the spell of joy. We know exactly what video to make. We know exactly how to appear. And that to me is profound. But it also is the bit that's the hardest to explain. I know what you say when you're like, we manifested this. I'm like, oh, I know. I can tell, because you sit in it with so much comfort and so much self-awareness. Like someone who didn't manifest this would be like, no, I'm just waiting for the environment to tell me what comes next. And you're like, no, we created this. We decide what comes next. Like every day we must sustain a version of ourselves that we like, because we're building our future as we speak.
Yeah. And I think when people get their, what's it called when you get overnight success, we just prayed that would happen to us when we were growing this page and this company, or whatever you want to call it, community. We just were hoping that, oh my God, we'll wake up to $1 million. That would be heaven. But then now in retrospect, it's the best thing that's ever happened, because we did think about it a fair bit. Even though we were just doing it to have fun, we didn't know it was going to be a career, but we built a backbone of skills. So then when we did blow up, we knew we're fine. Because when we did blow up, we're like, oh, we're not stressed at all, because we have the skills to keep going. Whereas if we blew up in the first month of making these videos, we would have been screwed, because we didn't know anything. We didn't know what worked, what didn't. We didn't even know how to edit properly. Like we didn't have the resilience. We had nothing compared to what we had when we did blow up. And I feel like that you see overnight successes fade off into the distance after 6 months to a year, whereas you see people that really, their backstory a bit more and they strive for it. They've had one goal the whole time, and they have the perseverance to like go 10 years opposed to 2 months,
Speaking of, the Inspired Unemployed have launched a travel platform called Arrival. It's the ultimate booking platform for travelers, not tourists, focusing on curated, experience-fueled adventures that allow you to actually connect with the place and people. Check out arrival.com.au. What a great domain to get. Arrival? You just had that? Quick question for the lovers at home. Who else feels like their energy has taken the day off? Luckily, Swisse Nutracellular Energy is designed to help enhance energy levels and reduce fatigue, so you can keep pace with whatever's ahead. Inside this advanced formula, you'll find a high dose of nicotinamide, a precursor to NMN, a compound that plays a role in the cellular energy production. So, support your energy today and stay ready for life's fast-paced demands tomorrow. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. All right, ready for 2 lies and a truth?
Oh, lies and a
You
truth.
just made up a game in the flesh.
Game.
Interpolation is the backbone of all creation. We just took an idea and said, let's just flip it. So you do your 2 lies and a truth, and then I will guess.
Can I say them in any order?
Any order, of course. That's the whole point. Don't make it obvious. Switch it up, and then I'm going to explain my reasoning as to what I think the truth is and why I think the other 2 are lies.
I drove buses for 3 years in Costa Rica. I skydived without a parachute and survived. It opened late. I landed in trees. I showed a girl my bank account. Why are you laughing? Why is that funny?
I showed a girl my bank account. It's the craziest sentence.
That's heavy, eh? That is
What?
so gnarly.
I just never heard of this before. Where do we do that at?
Fuck, I can't believe
Well, it's a lie. It doesn't matter.
I showed
This is what they want,
a girl my bank account.
Wow.
But no, do you know what this is? This is really, it paints a really beautiful picture at how you are and how you work. Because we're saying, just lie. And you're like, please.
Yeah.
No, just tell the truth. Please. No. I want to hear your logic behind I showed a girl my bank account.
You want to hear what?
The logic behind that. Because honestly, it took me somewhere. I didn't want it to be a lie, but I was like, that's a very strange
I just
sentence.
thought of what was the most ridiculous thing I could think of that you would never do. And I just said it.
I mean, it seems like the time's coming up. Pick someone. Show them your bank account.
I did it.
You've done it? How was
I
it?
don't want to talk about it anymore.
How was
I
it?
don't know why you said that one,
I'm
eh?
trying to get clickbait for
Oh
the girls.
my God.
Oh! It was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And the biggest regret. And it was in context to something, all right?
What about before we're just talking about like people showboating and stuff? So then you go and say that.
I did it on a very drunken night out. There's no justifying. It's the.
I mean,
No,
I think
explain it. You got to explain it. Like,
Well,
why did you do it? Do you think
it was so
you were proud or like you were like,
no. She was drilling me about a home to buy and money, and we're talking about that stuff and a few margaritas, and it just happened.
Oh my
I
God.
feel
my
like
God.
You can release.
No, I can't.
Release it.
You know when you say you're writing in your book and
Yeah. Oh, this is that.
This is that times a million.
Wow.
It's
You know what's so
I would have gone to the grave with that, eh?
well, he's outed me on the podcast.
I
about it.
wouldn't even told anyone. I would have gone
I
to the
had to
grave
tell
with
someone
it.
because I couldn't sleep because I was like, did that happen? And I woke up in the morning and I was like, did that happen?
No, this
And
is
I
not as
called
bad
her.
as you think it is.
No, it's worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's that? Like, I walk past some people in the street because he said on our podcast, and everyone goes, "Hey, Jack." I'm like, "Oh yeah, they want to say hello or something." And they show us your bank account everywhere.
Oh, there it
It's
is.
that
That's all we
bad.
got.
So like, really, I'm not outing myself that
We're
much.
releasing something very, very special right now. I think it. You said it for a reason. It's out.
And I called her
I
the next morning, and I go, "Did I? I didn't say anything." Like, she's like, "No, you did." And I was like, you remember? Was it bad? And she's like, "Yeah, something about a bank account." And I was like, "Oh!" I screaming in my phone. I was like, "No!" And she's like, "Yeah."
God.
I was like, "That is so cringe. Like, what the f?" And she's like, "Yeah." That's what she said. She's like, "Yeah," like that, a condescending yeah. And I was like,
Whoa.
it was just, and then I felt so sick and I couldn't deal with it by myself. So I told my best friend,
Yeah.
and he went on our podcast and told the whole of Australia.
So you would have thought that was the lie, didn't you?
Well, yeah, it felt like a lie because the sentence was structured so strangely. I showed a girl my bank account. Like, there's something so powerful in there. There's a memoir in there.
That's a book. That's a book in itself. The moment when that's a whole book.
I'm like, yeah, you got to be humble and blah, blah. Like, what the? That's just the furthest thing from human. It's just disgusting.
Do you know I'm having such an out-of-body moment right now? Because I'm like, this is the thing.
What thing?
Like,
The magic.
it's the magic. But also I'm like, you know, when you see someone that you deem to be impressive or like aspirational, you're like, whoa, you do so many cool things, but this is the thing that got you?
Yeah.
You know, because I have my thing. I don't know what it is, but I can imagine that feeling of telling someone what my thing is. They're like, is that it? And I'm like, is that it? Is that it? Like, this could ruin me. But being on the opposite end, I'm like, oh, you have to release
Better out
yourself.
there.
Yeah. Okay, 2 lies and truth. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying,
We're
yeah,
sitting the same again.
I accidentally ran over past an ex's pet. It didn't die, but wasn't good. When I was a tradie, I did singing lessons like secretly, and when I met Robbie Williams, I had a bath with him.
It's 2 lies.
2 lies, 1 truth.
So tell me about the pet you ran over.
Well, it was a guinea pig, but it just kind of like broke its back legs and stuff. Like that was it, and it still lived for like 4 more years.
How does a guinea pig live for 4 years after it breaks its legs?
It was a tough guinea pig.
Don't guinea pigs only live for 3 years in total?
Oh, what? How would you know that?
I had a guinea pig.
Near-death experiences will do that.
Yeah.
Are you lying?
Huh?
I feel like you're lying.
That feels like a truth.
It's a lie.
No.
I wouldn't do that. Are you serious? I wouldn't.
See, to me, it's so obvious you're lying about that.
Yeah.
You're going into too much detail.
All right, so that's a lie.
So what was the truth?
Then
I
won't
did
tell you.
sing. Oh my god, this is embarrassing to me. Eh? So like I said, like I thought, you know, when you just think you have that something in you, and
You
I was
do.
like, I'm a rock star. Like I'm meant to be a rock star. And so I was a tradie at the time. I was living in a share house with like these older guys, and I was like, screw it, I need to like just go and scratch that itch and just see if I am like I can't die wondering. So I signed up to this singing lessons in my hometown in Kiama. Like that is like rogue. Like,
Word got around.
Yeah. So I had to tell them I was going out. I didn't tell anyone. I just booked it myself. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
It's like a confessional.
Yeah, literally. And I told them I was going for dinner at my parents' place and went and did like singing lessons for like 3 weeks. And I was no good. I'm not a rock star,
Who
as you can
found out
tell.
first?
Dom, and then I literally it didn't come out until we did the podcast like 5 years
It's
later.
really not that embarrassing though.
Oh, it is. Like that is vulnerable. That is vulnerable as like, but yeah, that was just like a real big thing for me. And I was like tradie at the time. So if that got out on a job site that you were going to like sing lessons. For some
true.
reason down home, it just felt like
True.
I would just cop that much stuff. Like,
Yeah, the fact you're trying to hide it is way worse.
it's like your dad when he did yoga teaching and he was a tradie and he didn't want anyone to know he was doing yoga.
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason, it's like a stigma around it.
It's
And-
like it's like you're a tradie. It's
But it's that thing
you know?
about Australians that you can't try. Like I just had to be a good singer. Like if I was in a band and I was killing it, it's really cool. But if I was to get there, to get to that point, you have to go through so much embarrassment, and it's like it's too scary to be like, I can't cop that much embarrassment and judgment, so I'm just never going to do it.
Thank you for sharing.
It's all right.
Hey, let's talk about acts of wellness. It's why we're here. It's the name of the podcast. It's what all of this has been about, actually. You might have thought we were cosplaying a therapy session, but this is the important thing, to just share your own perspective on what you went through, prompted by someone who's like, I really want to hear it. I want to figure out, like, how do you actually check in on each other's mental health? Because again, that can be a vague term when you're just one person in your own body, but when you can like sense what's going on, or when you know you've been through something stressful together where you're like, oh, I know how that's affecting me. How's that affecting you?
yeah.
You're actually pretty good at that. Sometimes because I can be quiet and like hold things in, you're actually good at asking me how I'm going. And like, there's one like an instance a couple of months ago where I was upset about someone was holding on to like some little grudgy thing, and like I was driving to see my girlfriend and Jack called and it's like, hey, like, is everything all good? And it wasn't. And I was actually like a bit upset, and he was really good at like talking to me about it and like taking it on. And yeah, so you actually are really good at asking how you going. And if I am quiet, like say we're in the office, he'd be like, you all good?
Because I freak out. I'm like, oh no, what's wrong? Like, is that, have I done something? Or,
Yeah.
Or is it, because if Falcon goes quiet, I'm like, is it me or his girlfriend? Because I'm like,
That's probably one of the other.
because it could 50-50.
I mean, so what I'm hearing there is it's not just creating a supportive environment where you can have these conversations, but also recognizing when someone's opening up the floor to be like, hey, I've taken my first step. I've asked you if you're okay.
Yeah.
This is also your step where you give me a bit more information to work with.
Yeah.
So I can like go deeper, or I can let you be.
Yeah. I had this convo with my therapist the other day, and I said, I was talking about small talk, and I was like, I hate small talk, blah, blah. And he said a really good tip is asking people instead of like, where are you from, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what are you working through?
Ooh.
And not what are you working on, what are you working through? And he said, he's like, that's how you cut through. And people start opening up and actually telling you they might have, he said it to some guy at this event the other day, and he said he had he's like, oh man, I'm so angry right now. Like I just come from here and I had so much traffic and I'm just like built up with all this anger. And he said it's like, so I'm gonna start implementing that.
That would never come out otherwise.
Nah,
Like him saying
it
that.
wouldn't.
And it's so interesting. Like, you know, you say you're at an event and you talk to someone like all bubbly, and if you said, what are you working through? They could be like, hey, I'm going through this family issue, and it just fully open people up. And then you can actually be like, oh, that's why they're a bit, I don't know, like talking too much, or because they're trying to overcompensate.
Yeah.
And that's a cool one.
I think it just cuts through more than just how you going. You know?
Yeah.
Which is probably
so
what
we've
I was.
got create an environment where you can actually talk to people. And I think a lot of the active wellness with that is like, you don't just wait till there's a crisis to show up. It's like you're constantly creating the environment of like, hey, this is a cool place for you to be. And this is why this environment exists. You bring all yourself. You don't just wait until you're better.
Yeah.
You recognize when somebody is creating an opportunity for you to share. You upskill in your personal development, so you know more creative ways to open up and help people open up as well. Major.
You know, I think that's important to actually be like, make them feel safe to talk about something, opposed to just being like, oh, you know, there's something wrong, but you're like, oh, let's just go get a beer.
Yeah.
And then let's put a Band-Aid on it, where it's like, they probably really want to talk about it, but they need that push. So I think giving that push is really important, especially for males. They find it really hard to open up because it's the stigma around being the tough guy, you know?
So because you know each other so well, and you can probably tell when the other person is doing the thing that they're mindful of not wanting to do, like people pleasing or overthinking, how do you help each other out? How do you kind of be like, hey, this thing is happening, don't worry about it?
I think with us, like we just know, I know when Jack's stressed or like offered, or like we just understand, we know everyone, like each other's emotions, we're around each other like 24/7. So I think like, say when something happens, usually if it's in front of people, like after, it'd be like, hey, you all good with you know, we kind of have a memory like, you're good to do this thing, and are you feeling all good about this video we're about to do, or do you like the script or whatever, you know, whatever it is.
You can tell in a second.
Yeah.
I know what Falcon's thinking, even through one text message, even if it just said, I'm
Whoa.
home. It's like the way, you know, so it's like just gives, if we're at an event or whatever we're doing, it's like just space.
Yeah, exactly. Literally
just-
space.
it's
And then,
space.
and if they need something, they can come ask for it.
Yeah.
But like,
Whoa.
you kind of just let them do the, like.
That's pretty advanced to see someone you care about is going through something and not want to be like, can I maybe move a few things around to provide you with ease? Because it sounds really noble until you're the person who needs space and you're like, oh my goodness, I can feel everything. I can feel everything.
Because that's the way when we're angry, upset or whatever, we go quiet. So you just know. You're like, it's best if I just give you space.
Yeah. That's it. Now thinking about it, I haven't really thought about this whole question before, but it is.
That's why
It's
we're
just
here.
like, all right, give them space.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
yeah.
like we say we'll be at an event and it's too much going on. Like someone will be like, where's Jack? And I'll be like, oh, like he'll be back. Like,
Nice.
you know, he might be the toilet, get a
Protect.
beer or whatever.
Protect.
Like when he's
I'm hiding
ready,
in
he'll
the
be
car
back,
park.
you know? And yeah, vice versa.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
You two have known each other through so many milestones, so many evolutions of self, and you are evolving as a pair, evolving as separate entities, but also your lives are getting bigger. You're moving into separate, I was going to say accommodation, that sounds really formal, but like part-time share housing, part-time living arrangements, partners, like things are getting really big. How do you feel like that changes your dynamic, not just as business partners, but friends and people who love each other?
Because it's funny over the years, if someone gets a girlfriend or they become single, it's actually a massive change because it's everything changes in that person's life, and you're like, okay, now I've got to compromise for if I get a partner, it means Falcon's getting a second partner. So it's like if Falcon has a girlfriend, it means I have another best friend and a girlfriend, and Falcon, which is another girlfriend of mine. So it's like it's a lot. And you just there's just nothing you can do but besides adapt, really. And I don't think it's ever negatively impacted anything really, besides nothing.
I think our relationship though, like over the years, right now we're 30 and stuff, like I feel like our relationship is, and because we have partners, we are away from each other way more than what we used to. Like we were literally next to each other 24/7. Like,
Whoa.
for like 4 or 5 years.
It was 3 years where the longest time in a section we spent apart was like 8 days in 3 years.
And
we hadn't even left each other's side for more than 8 days.
And every other day from that is like literally us together 24 hours.
Waking up.
Well, pretty much. Like
And
it was
before you go to
hardly
bed.
even if we spent like a day away from each other, it was kind of weird. Like we come back, we're like, what have you been doing? Like,
Yeah, you like lose touch.
What are you
like,
doing?
Yeah. Well, is something you want to tell me? I'll give you space. You all right? You want to talk about it?
But now
Whoa.
it's happening more and more because we got girlfriends and stuff. And I feel like our relationship, has become a bit more professional. Like we're a bit more like, well, I feel like our whole lives have become a bit more professional. Like it's like we have businesses now and people that, just different meetings and stuff. So like, and before we'd be like, oh, should we just try and film this video? It's like, all right, now we got a plan. We got a plan on Tuesday. We're gonna film this and we're gonna have a script ready.
Yeah.
Whereas we used to be like, oh, that's a cool jumper. Like we can make something funny out of that. Like let's film
Yeah.
something. Whereas now it's a bit more like,
Definitely miss that
Yeah.
for sure. We always talk about this, like how the simplicity of not having anything to do but film a video or just do fun. Nothing mattered. Like now it is. I mean, our life is great, no complaints. But like now it's more structured. So it's like every hour matters. It's like we have meetings scheduled and it's Tuesday's booked out, so we'll have to film at 9 to 12 on a Wednesday.
So you had to kind of evolve to be different people for the health of your business, it seems? Like, because being professionals now kind of infecting all parts of your life.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's true. And because we were like, especially at the start, so we still are like just so stupid, or I don't know, whatever the word is. Like just you kind of, when you have people like working for you and stuff, you got to show up at some days and you got to like make decisions on things. And
Yeah, you have there's a fair few teens relying on us, even to be in a good, healthy relationship. Like
Whoa.
like best friends. And you know, we realized this last year or the year before.
They say that to you?
Well, there's probably like 60 people that rely on us being healthy. So like if we're not healthy as a friend,
You have dependents.
yeah, which it's weird when you put it like that, because then you're like, oh, that's kind of scary.
You don't
like,
want pressure on it.
No, because if we aren't friends, then a lot of stuff goes down the drain, and a lot of people we work with, it affects their life. So, but I think that makes us really cherish our relationship, because no matter what happens to us, we'll resolve it fast, because it has to. We
Yeah.
can't be holding grudges, because if we do, everything goes down the drain.
Well, let's go deeper into that, because now that you have reached this new high stakes of friendship where you're like, it's not just about are we getting along? It's can we really sustain this beautiful thing that we've created from knowing each other for most of our life? What do you believe about friendship now that you hadn't even considered 5 years ago?
Communication is the biggest for a relationship.
Yeah, that's
For sure. Massive. God, I think that if you can communicate and compromise, you can pretty much do anything in a relationship.
and understand. Like,
yeah.
make sure we understand like where, because you can get in your own little ego and be like, you only see it from your perspective, but when it can actually have like compassion and be like, oh my God, like that is. Because sometimes it is hard to understand how people think, because all you know is what's in your head.
Yeah.
And when they're like, I get anxious about this or I do this, and you're like, how? Like that doesn't register with me.
That's really hard to do as well. Like, I struggle with that. Like Falcon and I think so differently, but like you just said, like I can't, for me, I'm like really urgent. So I'm like, I just call him right now. But then Falcon would think about it more and to be like, oh, it's like more carefree in that sense. And I'm like, but I can't expect him to be like me, because that's why we work so well, because he's not me. But then for me to like step outside of that, I think for any human this is hard to do. It's like to understand in his way is like, oh, okay, that's why he hasn't done it, because he's not like me, and he thinks this way because he's probably thinking deeper about that's why he's going to do it tomorrow, because something blah blah. And then I feel like if you do understand that, which I'm still working on, and like if anyone masters that as well, that's powerful as well.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with your acts of wellness for each other, but I do believe there is more of a gold standard acts of wellness that for the people listening at home, whether it's for their partner, their grandparent, the person next door, a way that they can show support, love, and well-being that has like a 94% success rate.
I honestly think if you're looking after yourself and doing the things, like say for instance, I started seeing a therapist at the start of the year, and like then my friends have recently started. Like if you in like Jack, you been going to the gym and eating really well, and that it spreads, and we start eating better and we start working out more. It's like if you're looking after yourself and trying to be the best version of yourself, it slowly has a ripple effect to the people around you.
Yeah, you want to be a super spreader in the healthy way.
I think that look after yourself, and then you can look after other people and support them in their journey of looking after themselves.
Huge. What about your gold standard act of wellness?
Making sure you have time for yourself. If there's free time in your calendar, doesn't mean it's someone else's time. It means it's your time to do whatever you want with it. And I feel like the world now is crazy and full on and fast paced and dopamine chasing. And if you don't prioritize yourself, you won't have time to treat anyone right or just, I just think I love my own time now more than anything, because if you don't recharge and reset and just not talk to anyone, like I've been in Sydney for 4 days and doing stuff like this and, living a crazy life, and go home and that's my like reset. And I do have that bit of guilt of people pleasing where you're like, oh, I've got to see these people and these people, my family and blah, blah, blah. But then I'm just like, I'm just going to sit here on the couch and watch the footy and do nothing. And then Monday I'm good to go again. But if I didn't do that, I would be screwed, So I feel like time for yourself is super important.
And that was beautiful. That was. I love. And speaking of, true beauty support goes deeper than the surface. It begins at the cellular level, where hydration, collagen, and skin repair all come to life. Introducing Swisse Nutricellular Skin Hydration, a science-led, evidence-based formula designed to elevate your skin from the inside out. The hero ingredient is ceramicides, which helps enhance skin hydration, elasticity, and firmness. In fact, it's been clinically shown to improve skin hydration after just 15 days of use. This product also contains sodium ascorbate to support collagen production and skin repair. Add this advanced formula to your beauty routine to help support glowing and healthy skin. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Trigger warning, we'll be talking about eating disorders in this next ad. Did you know that eating disorders are one of the deadliest of all mental illnesses, yet they're still hugely misunderstood? Right now, 1 in 20 Aussies are living with an eating disorder, and it doesn't just affect them, it impacts families, friends, and futures. And that's why Australian charity 1 in 5 is funding groundbreaking research to help us better understand, treat, and one day prevent eating disorders. If you can, head to oneinfive.com.au and donate today. Every dollar, big or small, helps us get closer to life-saving answers. Arrival presents Off-Grid Vietnam. From Saigon's chaos to the floating markets in the Mekong. 7 nights at a pace that lets you actually connect with the place and people. Locally flavoured hotels, optional adventures, and guide to become mates. Arrival.com.au for travellers, not tourists. Clearly there's a lot of wisdom in the room, and so I'm like mining your brains for information because you two are like kind of oracles, and it might feel
That's a first.
like a very normal thing for you, but you're holding a lot of responsibility, a lot of stress, and you're holding it well.
It's taken a while.
Well, you're 30,
Yeah.
so has it really taken a while?
And we still might be holding it that good. You should have heard us 2 years ago. I'm not even joking. We were in our office, I reckon, for nearly a year straight, freaking out that our career's over. No one likes us anymore. Our videos are like everything's going down the drain. We just thought we were not going anywhere. But the end of that year come out, our podcast hit like number 2 in Australia, and our TV show went really well. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm serious when I say we actually didn't think we were doing well at all.
You haven't bragged yet. It hasn't come up
Except
yet.
for the bank account. That was a little...
It's like that didn't even register as a brag to me. I just thought it was a funny formatted sentence.
But that's the truth. Like, we really did think that, and like we thought we were like, we're going nowhere. Because the pressure you put on yourself and expectations, and so that we've had our like roll. I was having panic attacks like weekly for like 2 years straight. I've not one in a while, which is great. So I feel like we're getting a lot more chill with if something doesn't perform, it is what it is. But it's taken a long time to get there.
Can we get into what it took? Because I'm thinking a lot about, I mean, everyone goes through their own here life comes moment where they're like, this is it. This is where it all ends. I knew it was coming. Sayonara, I'm out. Like, nothing good happens from here. And you get a lot of proof. You're like, okay, I'm getting panic attacks and I don't feel like myself and I don't feel creative. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? It's about the journey.
Yeah.
So what advice, I mean, it is hard to remember when you're in those stages because you're like, I think I went through that and it was really bad, right? But I always think it's good to just speak from your experience, like knowing that everybody will go through that in their own way. What could you tell them that it's just like not demeaning your experience, not saying it's not a big deal, but it's like everyone's going through it. So here's some advice to help you manage it.
I've been liking this thing lately. So yeah, we like that's like you say, like we had all this stuff that on paper was doing well, but we didn't feel like, you know, in ourselves that would, like, we did feel like everything was going to crap. So we do ride a roller coaster, highs and lows, a lot of highs and a lot of lows. But there's this quote I heard. This is like I think Tom Hanks said it, and then I heard someone else talking about it on a podcast, and I've taken it from the podcast. But this too shall pass. So like, even say for instance, like the other day we launched like a rival travel company, and it got really, like, it went way better than what we expected, and we were in Kyrgyzstan, like traveling on motorbikes, and there was like probably one of the happiest days I've had because we're just traveling. We're like had motorbikes on our back. We'll just ride around with headphones in, like in the most beautiful mountains. Everything was doing well online. Like everyone was really happy. But that's going to pass. Like, I had in the moment, like, this is going to pass. Like, enjoy it because this is going to pass. And then we'd come home and make a video and people be like, writing comments like, this sucks. Like, you guys, whatever. And it's like, oh, like, we suck again. And it's like, well, this is going to pass. Like, there's going to be another moment where I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Again.
You're like, I've been here before. Can't fool me. It's going to get better.
So it's like the good times are going to pass, but the bad times are also going to pass.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I feel like that has helped me a lot in the last year.
That's good. And don't burn it, but don't burn out. Like we were burning out. That's what's happened paying taxes. We were burning.
Yeah, back to back to back.
It's going too hard.
It's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Too hard. And also I feel like we were playing out of fear and not to win. Which is what someone told me, which is the best thing I've heard. That's my therapist again. He's a friggin' wizard.
He's playing to maintain instead of playing to win.
Opposed to playing to win.
That is
Which
good.
is
That
like,
is.
Like, you know, when you're coming up, you're just, that blew out mine too. Like, I called Falcon after I got off that session. I was like, oh my God.
You
like,
got some more clues.
Yeah.
You got some more clues. I know how this works.
We've been doing it all wrong. We've been playing to maintain instead of playing to win. And I was like, drop the phone. And I was like started again.
Powered up.
Yeah.
Major.
It's so true because you're at the start, you're playing out of fun and joy and excitement, and you're playing with no fear. Then when you have followers and expectations and pressure, you start playing to maintain. That's when you go stagnant.
You don't want to lose it.
You don't want to lose it, so you're playing out of fear. And then we were like, what are we doing? You know, we're doing it all wrong. And the last year or whatever it's been, we're like, you know what, screw them. Like, we're doing what we love. We're doing how we want to do it. And we've just been doing so much better. And I feel like that's what keeps you up at night when you know you're doing it out of the wrong place, but you're freaking out at the same. So it's a double lose. You're losing twice. But even if you do succeed, you're still losing because you're not even happy because you're doing it for them, not you. And if you love it, they'll love it.
So where are you taking us next?
I'd say Arrival, the travel company. Project that is exciting us mostly at the moment.
Just being able to travel. We love the travel.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Share that experience. That's what it's all about. Sharing that experience. You're so happy you're having an experience and you're with other people. Like that's a memory for life. You know, and not much can be better than that.
I wouldn't just live my life like if I died tomorrow, I'd be happy. You know, like so if I died tomorrow, I'd be like I did everything I could to live the best life possible. That's like kind of like a motto. Yeah. A motto for us is just like just gotta make the most of every minute.
And that brings us to the end of our session. As always, thank you to our lovely audience for listening into Acts of Wellness, a Swisse Wellness podcast. Keep your eyes and your ears peeled for another episode dropping next month. You're not going to want to miss out on our next guests. And if you laughed or cried or texted your ex mid-episode, you're welcome. Until next time, take deep breaths, drink your water, and go share an act of wellness with your partner, therapist, or emotionally unavailable crush today. Acts of Wellness, a Swisse Wellness podcast, would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is being recorded, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the many lands across Australia on which our listeners tune in from today. We pay our respects to elders past and present, and we extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander mob listening. As we record and share this conversation, we honour the rich histories, diverse cultures, and enduring connection First Nations people have to country. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.